Hello, dear friends. I welcome you to this episode on 5 ways to manage difficult emotions. Is there anyone in existence who has never suffered from emotional issues? Let me assure you, you are not fighting the battle of your emotions alone. We all are more or less on the same boat, and we do have to cross the sea of emotional suffering. Being emotional, if not too emotional, has both its advantages and disadvantages. On a positive note, it can make you a very loving and caring person. And in the shadow aspect, it can make you prone to feel hurt or unreciprocated more often. Going through bouts of difficult emotions can rob us of our mental peace, reduce our focus and concentration on our work, and in extreme situations, it can take a toll on our physical health too, because our mind and body is organically connected. So in this video, I'm going to discuss 5 ways to manage difficult emotions. And trust me, I am recommending them from my direct experience. Here we go. Number 1. Stop running away from difficult emotions and accept them. When we experience guilt, shame, fear, anger, anxiety, pain of rejection, or any such difficult emotions, many of us quite unconsciously attempt to escape from the discomfort by not acknowledging the discomfort itself. We try to escape from the negative emotions with the help of distractions, overloading ourselves with work, deleting the alone time from our daily routine, or even socializing too much to avoid our own being. This avoiding and suppressing can build up an uncomfortable tension right beneath the conscious layers of our mind. And finally, a time may come when these suppressed emotions explode, leading to more serious depression. So, here, the best thing to do is to accept. There is a wide-scale notion in our society that anything that is negative should be rejected and thrown into the dustbin. Tell me, can you really remove your shadow from your body as long as you are alive? So let us first accept that it is absolutely alright and very much natural to experience difficult emotions. Know this for sure that our emotional state can never be static, one straight, happy, positive line. Difficult emotions are bound to come. So accept it that you are feeling sad because you have been rejected. Accept that you don't like to go to your office because you are afraid of your boss. Accept you feel jealous of your best friend. Acknowledge the presence of the difficult emotion, stay present with it, and face it instead of pushing it away. If we address our difficult emotions boldly and honestly with total acceptance, it can save us from a major emotional breakdown later on. Number 2, introspect and develop self-awareness. If you are the kind of person who loves to explore your mind, your inner self, then investigating and introspecting on your difficult emotions can help you wonderfully to know your mind better and develop self-awareness. A few years ago, I met an old school friend at a party. She had made it really big and become a multimillionaire businesswoman. After talking to her, I was feeling somewhat uncomfortable, though we had a hearty chat. When I asked myself what was making me feel that way, I figured out a streak of jealousy in me. My first reaction at this was shame. How can I feel jealous? But the next moment, I corrected my thought and accepted my envy for her. I simply told myself, I'm not a saint after all. It's human to feel jealous. When I dived deeper into my mind, I realized it was actually my inferiority complex, a sense of lack. We had been in the same school, in the same class, and she had gone so far ahead in her career, whereas I was still stuck with my regular job then. It was only when I inquired myself, I could read my mind and emotions with full clarity. But there is a caution here. You need to be honest with yourself. Our ego has a tendency to blame others and hide its own shadow. So don't get caught in the ego trap. You should introspect honestly. Exactly what triggered me? Why am I feeling this way? Is it because of my own negative tendencies? Or is it because of the unjustified behavior of the other person? Does this pattern keep repeating? Honest and authentic introspection can help you to understand your emotions better, making you feel more empathetic towards yourself. The most magical part of this process of introspection is the more you dig out the deep-rooted causes and the subconscious intentions behind your negative emotions and bring them to the light of your awareness, the faster they dissolve and set you free. Even before others can point out to you your flaws, you become aware and mindful of your own shadows and weaknesses, and this awareness helps you in healing and cleansing your difficult emotions much faster. Number 3, know that your emotions are impermanent. We all have seen lovers vowing to die for each other and then break up after a few years or even a few months. The question is, what are they faking? In most cases, the reality is their desire for love was as true as their desire to get rid of each other. Suppose you are so angry with your best friend, you decide never to talk to her again. But eventually you cool down and get along with your friend once again. Here, your anger is as true as your willingness to talk to your friend again. Emotions keep changing, right? No emotion is static. So if you are experiencing difficult emotions, know this for certain, that this too shall pass. Our emotions appear, stay for a certain period of time, and then disappear. If you are able to witness and observe your own emotions mindfully, with patience and acceptance, even in the middle of the disturbance, you can come out of the critical phase much faster, and the emotions do evaporate more quickly. If you continue with this witnessing, a time comes when you no longer feel helplessly destabilized like your past experiences. It is only because this witnessing and observing has enabled you to rise above your emotions. See through their repeating patterns, see through their transitory, impermanent nature, and so you no longer feel carried away by such emotions. Another great benefit you get when you realize the impermanent nature of your emotions is, you learn to control yourself from committing hasty, impulsive, damaging actions triggered by anger, anxiety, hatred, or bitterness. You learn to patiently wait for the storm to subside instead of impulsively acting on them. Number 4. Surrender and let go. Very often, we attempt to control our difficult emotions when they rise. We turn overly conscious to do something about handling the emotions or find an instant solution. Sometimes this works, but there are times when our emotions are so stubborn and sticky that we are at a loss regarding what to do with them. The key here is to let go of the very need to control the emotions. Be brave enough, face them, be open to the consequences and what unfolds. When you attempt to suppress your negative emotions by force, the resistance and friction that comes along with the idea of control makes your emotions more stubborn and difficult to manage. The spirit of surrender and letting go releases you from the idea of control. Not all emotions are meant to subside without generating a reaction. When a very deep-rooted, suppressed emotion turns up, it demands to run through its full course, release all its pent-up energy, and only then it is released. All you can do is patiently go through it with the spirit of surrender. And if you feel like crying your heart out, do go for it. A good cry releases a lot of pent-up sadness and imparts a sense of relief. Number 5. Practice a breathing technique, yoga, or indulge in a hobby. If your emotions are so stubborn and sticky that they are creating a havoc where all your logical reasoning has failed, then just settle down comfortably somewhere and practice pranayama or a breathing count for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Because organized breathing cools down the nervous system, declutters the mind, providing you relief from your emotional disturbance. Practicing a breathing technique is a very scientific and sure-shot method of calming and soothing your mind and emotions. Our body stores a lot of suppressed, bottled emotions. So here yoga and exercise can help greatly because a lot of our pent-up heavy emotions are released from our body when we are engaged in physical activity. You can also involve yourself in a hobby like dance, painting, gardening, music, or whatever suits you. Creative activities remove our focus from the emotional chatter and inspire us to create something fruitful and productive. If you are not able to manage your difficult emotions at all, it is always the best solution to shift your focus on those activities that make you feel light-hearted and motivated. I hope this discussion will help you to understand your emotions much better. I'll be back with more insightful topics very soon. Dear friends, take good care of your body and take very good care of your mind. Have a beautiful day.